Hey guys, it's Danny. Today we're taking a day off from tutorials. It's a chill day. We're gonna repot a Hoya together. Just hang out, have a jolly old plant time while I show you what I believe are the sketchiest plant pots that I've ever found. Let me show you. Yeah, it doesn't look like much. I don't know what you expected when you read the title, but I assure you there's something really off about these pots or the situation itself. I don't know. I'm gonna tell you all about it. I really needed to share this with you because I am beyond amused at this point. So I hope you're gonna enjoy this video and just hanging out. If you wanna repot something, pause, go get your plant and let's just repot together because yeah, I have a lot of repottings to do and not enough time in a day. So if you do enjoy this video, don't forget to give it a like and why not subscribe? I post multiple days a week. Now, as you can see, I have here a Hoya. Needs a little bit of work, need to cut away some dried parts. This is a flower shop Hoya, it does not have an ID. Might be a sort of pubicalyx, I'm not entirely sure to be fully honest. It is one of those Hoyas that appears not to necessarily want to vine and climb on things, but rather become pendant, because the tendrils are super flimsy and the leaves are quite heavy. So I do see this Hoya as more of the droopy type of Hoya, which is great, because it's gonna look very nice in the setup that I want to put it in. And here's where the pots come in. Let me just tell you about the pot. Don't fall. Right. Let me tell you about the pots first, and then we're gonna take care of the Hoya. Let me just share with you the story with these pots. So I purchased them locally from my country from a pretty big home improvement store. It's not a garden center, but it does have a gardening section, and they're called Green Ball Planter. Yes, as you can see, they are very, very green and also very ball-like, especially this part. Very, very round. All right. Now, mind you, there were other colors as well, including green, but I went for the white. And honestly, I've been seeing these pots in the same place for years. They have not been sold in years. They're kind of dusty. Maybe I should wash this before using. Yeah, I'm gonna wash it before use. But to be fully honest, they never interested me because I didn't know what they were. Yes, I knew they were plant pots, but I didn't necessarily know how they were supposed to work. Because they were just thrown in a shelf. They didn't have any tag on them except for the barcode. They weren't displayed nice in any way. So I kind of avoided them because, I don't know, I just didn't have time to figure it out. But recently I decided to look a little bit into them and see what the heck they were. Because at this point, after so many years, some of them had parts missing, some of them were halves, which actually intrigued me because I never realized, hey, you know what? This guy has a sort of a saucer here, a sort of a mask. Look at that, ta-da! Maybe some of you immediately got it when you saw this thing, but I don't know why, I didn't. So when I saw some of these just sitting like this on the shelf, it kind of hit me, the light bulb turned on, that hey, these can definitely be used as self-watering pots. Oh. So, you know, I went to investigate more. And the plot thickens, let me tell you. Look at that! Accessories. Did I or did I not tell you the plot chickens? Right, so again, since these pots were kind of thrown in the shelf and over the years, probably people picked them up to try to understand what they were supposed to be and then put them back. Maybe they tried to open them because, actually in my defense, these are the easiest ones to open. Some of them didn't want to rotate, they were just stuck in there, so probably people just gave up. So everything was a mess on the shelf, and these guys were hidden under the pots, like so, because probably the employees put the pots upside down so they don't roll over, which, judging by how beaten up these guys are, I bet they kind of took a few falls. So initially, I didn't even notice that there were some accessories, and then I just saw them like this on the shelf. And of course, the accessories had different colors as well. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do with these. I'm gonna show you. If you have any idea, if you have this in your country or in your shops, let me know, because I don't know, there is no manual. I could not find them online, nothing similar. I have no idea how to use these. Hold on. All right, so these are the accessories. I don't know what this is. I also don't know what this is, and certainly I cannot imagine what this little cap is. I thought that maybe this is a sort of a gauge, you know, if I want to make it self-watering, I could use these accessories somehow, but I don't see how. I mean, this doesn't cover the bottom in any way, so I don't think they go into this upper part. And then if I go in the reservoir, you know, again, what exactly am I supposed to do? It doesn't sit. I feel like I'm unable to put together a puzzle. But honestly, you guys, this doesn't even go in here or in here. No, I don't think it belongs in there. It doesn't go in here either. This doesn't go in here. Maybe this could sit here, but it's kind of loose. And I don't know what it's supposed to do. I have all of this information and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how this works. How am I supposed to go about this? Maybe put it here? No? Wait, maybe... I figured it out, you guys. This is the silliest thing. I think I figured it out. Wait, there are a few more accessories which I didn't bring. One of these contained some screws. So this means there is a way in which you can actually mount this to a wall if you so desire, if you don't want to keep it hanging. I think this thing goes in here. Maybe. And then you have the screws and you mount it on the wall like so. Is it? And then maybe with this you can... Oh. No, it doesn't sit. Well, you know, this would be a great way to display it, but it does not sit. It doesn't fit in here. Okay, so I think I had an idea. I think it has to do with just mounting it on a wall. But again, this one does not really fit in here. And I don't know what the heck this is. Okay, so maybe this can sit like this. Yeah, I can accept that. And this maybe, it can serve as a stand. But the thing doesn't really fit. So, yeah, all of these, they do have a meaning, they do have a purpose, probably. The purpose of that, though, eludes me. I don't really know exactly what to do other than maybe this is as far as I can go with this. Maybe you want to mount these to a wall, which is very nice, you know, it looks nice. But I don't find this to be a very sturdy and efficient way of attaching something to the wall. It really doesn't sit very well. If it's a little too windy, I think it's gonna fall. But anyway, so that's one part of the story. It has accessories that I do not understand, but there's more. Because yes, we don't have instructions, but on the bottom we have a website. I'm not going to tell you the website because the website is sketchy as well. So I think they have a typo right here in the print because the website ends in .co. Now I heard of .co.uk, not so much of .co. Maybe it exists. I went to check it out, and .co is not a website. Definitely, I don't think it's the website for these pots. Then I tried .com and that one worked, but the website is weird. It looks like a website done like 20 years ago, which only has these really bad animated, if I can call them like that, banners. They're not animated. Imagine the internet 20 years ago if you can. Something like that, where, you know, everything looked a little bit like a Word document. So it looks like that, and then you have a few places that redirect you to other websites, which don't look very legit, to be fully honest. I was kind of afraid to continue. I just dropped it. I think this video would be great if I was sponsored by a VPN, but I'm not. But I personally do not want to go visit those websites and stuff. So I've never encountered anything like this. But don't worry, I have my own way of using these pots, which you guessed it, it's going to be a self-watering type of way using a wick. Because this little pot, the bottom side, actually creates a little bit of a reservoir here. So definitely, if there is some water in the reservoir, it can be pulled up through a wick, right? So that's exactly how I'm gonna use them. Forget about all of these accessories. I don't think they're self-watering accessories anyway. Maybe display accessories, but I don't really trust them because they don't fit all that good. So with that said, let's just get to repotting the Hoya. But yeah, How about these pots? Very sketchy, very nice. I love them. Alrighty, sorry about the fluctuating light. Again, sky is patchy. I constantly need to arrange the camera and I think it's worse than if I just let it be. Right, so what I like to use are chopped up rags that I don't use anymore, wash them up, transform them into wicks. And you can see at the bottom, we have pretty sizable slits. So I'm just gonna feed, let's see if it fits. I'm gonna feed one end through one of these holes and the other end through the opposite hole, or rather slit. Let's see. Ah, no! Oh no! What have I done? Okay, no, I think it's enough. Give it a test. Yeah, definitely they touch the bottom. Oh yeah, it's gonna be perfect. So in this way, we transformed the setup into a self-watering wicking setup, which is my personal favorite. Now, let's take care a little bit of the orchid since the pot is done. Let's see what orchid, no, Hoya. Everything appears to be an orchid from me. Did I sanitize this? I actually don't remember. I'm gonna do that now. All right, so some of the tendrils of this Hoya are dried. Nothing will sprout from these ever again. They're dead. I can definitely go ahead and cut them because they just don't look nice, as close to the node as possible. This particular tendril doesn't really look all that, oh no. Okay, let me get you in close to show you something. All right, so I did notice that this particular tendril has very desiccated leaves. Look at that. So I followed the tendril back and look what I found. A section of it is actually dry. This section from here to here. This one still appears to be green, but as you can see, the leaves don't really look that good. So what I'm gonna do is remove it actually, because it's just not going to survive like this. Since this stem is completely dried up and gone, it's not gonna get any nutrients and hydration. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if I can do this with one hand. I'm gonna cut it there, and furthermore, I'm gonna create another cut, maybe right here. There we go. I'm gonna cut into green stem because this can now absorb water. So I'm gonna leave this Hoya in water. I'm gonna try to propagate it, and when it roots, I'm gonna just put it in the pot together with the mother plant and she's gonna be good. But if I left it on, it wouldn't have survived because this portion is dry. So I'm gonna remove this portion as well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and see if there are any other things that I need to remove, any dried bits, any dried stem, and so on and so forth, and then we are going to unpot it. So let's just unpot the plant, and I do have a suspicion I have multiple stems that are potted in here, not necessarily connected to each other. It's a very common practice with nurseries to add multiple plants, different plants, in one pot in order to make a bushier show, which is fine. You can totally do that to bushen up your Hoyas. And look at that. We do have pretty nice looking roots, but I will remove some of this medium, especially the top layer. I like to remove top layers because it's usually where you have a lot of dead leaves, dead branches, all of that organic buildup, which will not break down like it would in a compost pile. It's just going to acidify everything, it's going to attract mold and other pathogens which can affect the stems of a plant. Not to mention, it's where you can find fungus gnat eggs as well. So I like to always remove the top layer. I'm not really bothered all that much about the bottom layers unless I have a reason to remove it. I don't necessarily have much of a reason now. I will have to say this potting mix is a little heavy. I would make it a little bit lighter, but it's not all that bad. I will leave most of it on. You know what would be ideal? If I could actually remove... Oh, I can. I can remove these without breaking. Hopefully I'm not gonna break them. Oh, you have to press on them actually. So what I'm gonna use is my mixture of an all-purpose soil together with some bark chips for extra aeration. I actually prefer bark chips to perlite, but perlite is just as good, and I do believe even more popular. But, you know, to each their own, it really doesn't matter. This is such an awkward angle that I'm doing here. I was just too lazy to clean up my tray, and now I'm paying the price. It's okay. I'm also way too lazy to put my soil from this big tray where I store it into a smaller tray, and again, I'm paying the price. It's okay. I think I need a smaller utensil. like this, just to fill up the big air pockets. All right, I'm actually all done, but you cannot even tell. So what I'm gonna do is clean up my tray, and I'm gonna go on the terrace and just shower this plant, just to remove all of the soil that I got pretty much everywhere. Obviously, you can do that at the sink in the kitchen if you want, or in the bathtub. That works just as well. Okay, there we are. So I'm gonna go water it and come back with the outro. Are you gonna sit? You're not gonna sit. All right, I don't know if I caught it on camera, but I almost did a very, very big boo-boo. Guess what? Round surfaces don't sit. They tend to do this. Mind blown, am I right? I'm being ironic. I thought I could balance it, but apparently not. Anyway, I'm done with today's project, and I really like it. Leaving aside all of these uncertainties and just bizarre things related to this pot, I think it's pretty neat. Look at that. I am, of course, going to keep this Hoya hanging. I have a lot of free real estate on my curtain rods. And you know what? I think it's gonna do great. Shall we do an update on the Hoya we repotted last month? We did the houseplant basic care tutorial. Let's do it, because that is, again, a self-watering pot, but it's much more stable and with a lot more pedigree type of pot. Hold on. All right, here she is. I really love this stem. It's a half and half. It's half variegated, half green. Look at that. And I have a white leaf and a green leaf here. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Now here we have a very similar type of pot. If you missed that video, by the way, in which I tell you how to take care of Hoyas if you don't have time when it comes to watering, I will link you to it down below. But yeah, this is again a self-watering pot with a wick. But this is a much heavier pot. This is a glazed self-watering pot that I got from rePotme. They sent it to me. I'll link you to these types of pots down below in the description. And this one, as I was saying, is pretty heavy in comparison to the light plastic, obviously. So putting something heavy like this on my curtain rod, I personally don't trust it. But obviously something like this can be kept hanging with one of those macrame hangers if you have a really sturdy hook in the ceiling. But best of all, how I like to keep them is on the upper side of my shelf, just on the edge like this, letting the Hoya just grow, climb if she wants, or grow down if she wants, because this is such a heavy pot that at least now, and probably for the next couple of years or so, this Hoya will not get as heavy as to fall over under the weight. I don't know, we'll see, but it's not gonna happen anytime soon. So if you have a light pot, be careful, Hoyas will get heavy. So either you're gonna arrange a trellis that is actually mounted on a wall or something, either you're gonna keep them hanging, either go for a heavier pot. If not a fully ceramic pot, then maybe a plastic pot in a ceramic mesh, in a ceramic mask, right? Anyway, so this is the update on this beautiful girl. This is a Hoya Crimson Princess, which I prefer to the Crimson Queen. I don't know why. It has a tendril here that I think completely reverted. It's green, but I like it nonetheless. It's gonna bloom beautifully nonetheless. And I also have two tendrils, which are more variegated. This one is half-half. She's really beautiful. This one didn't start to grow just yet. But yeah, as many variegated plants, this one too can revert. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me today. Maybe you repotted something yourself as well. Did you? Let me know in a comment. And I really hope you have a great day. You can follow me on social media if you search for me. I'm at MissOrchidGirl, but most importantly, you can subscribe to this channel to stay up to date with all of the videos that I post on a weekly basis. And with that said, I'll see you next time. Bye!